Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in today's tutorial we're going to be making this rich aunty bubu dress with v-neck. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified each time I post a new video. So for this we'll be needing at least 4 yards of this African print and a plain fabric. Half yard of a plain fabric can do. So right now I'll be folding this fabric. So you know the length of this African print is 45 inches, but the length of my client is 52 inches and I don't want it to have a joining, so I'll be folding it the other way around. So you folding the two edge like this. I believe you can see what I'm doing. Fold it like this. I'm trying to fold it out properly. So this is it. Fold it into two like this and then fold it again like this. So the two edges of the fabric will now be on the side. So right now I want to check the measurement to see if it's up to my client's length. So what I have here is 60 and it's more than, so I need to adjust it a bit to our actual length because I want to cut out scarf from this. So this is it. So the next thing I'll be doing right now is to take out a shoulder measurement, which is 18 divided by 2, which is 9. Sorry, I didn't know it wasn't showing properly because I was working with a colorful fabric. So from that place where you stop your shoulder measurement from, you take the sleeve measurement. So the sleeve I'm working with is 13 inches, but we'll be having a 2 inches plain fabric at the tip of the sleeve, so we'll take off that 2 inches of the sleeve length. So the next thing we're doing right now is to take out 1 inch for our shoulder slope. So it's optional. If you don't want to, you can as well leave it like that. So we're taking out the 1 inch down to the shoulder where we stop our shoulder measurement. So the next thing we're doing right now is to take out our neck 3 inches, and for the back we're going down by 1.5. so you just use your free hand or your French curve to curve it out like this. So what I'm doing right now is to curve out my shoulder slope to my neckline instead of my shoulder line. So the next thing I'll be doing right now is to take out her nipple point, which is 12 plus 1 inch, that's 13 inches. So around sleeve 13 inches. So the round sleeve I'm working with is, so I'm trying to adjust it properly. Her waist length is 18 plus 1, that's 19. So make sure you adjust your fabric properly. That's what I'm doing here. So the next thing we'll be doing right now is to take out her hip, her bust circumference. So what you do here is you take the biggest part of your client's body. It could be the bust, it could be the hip. So for me, the biggest part is the bust, which is 46 divided by 4, and I added 5 inches allowance to it. So the next thing we're doing right now is to take out our shoulder measurement, which is 14 divided by 2 as 7. So I added extra 1 inch to it. You can add extra 1 inch, extra 1.5. So I think I added 1.5 to this 1 inch. So the next thing we're doing right now is to curve out make a curve like that and stop where your measurement stop, where your bust measurement stop. So you take what you have there and take the same thing down, which is the bust circumference divided by 4 plus extra 5 inches. So if it's the hip that is the biggest part of what you're working with, you take the hip measurement divided by 4 plus 5 inches, extra 5 inches. You need to free dress. So you take the same thing down to the end of the fabric. Yeah, like that. Sorry, I'm working with a small table, so I just have to move. So use your ruler and mark a straight line to the top, like you see me doing. So I'll be cutting it out like this. So I'll be cutting this front and the back neckline together. But we're still going to cut out the front neckline after cutting out this. Finding it difficult to go around this small table. So I started cutting from the down part like this, cutting on the line I marked. So this is it. So I'm cutting out my sleeve, measure my sleeve. So don't forget we'll be having a 2 inches plain fabric there. So right now I'm taking out one piece aside. So we'll be having the other piece on the table for our front. So right now, all we're doing right now is to take 10 inches. You can make it 9 or 10 inches from your shoulder. You measure 10 inches down, then you take your ruler and rule it out. Rule a V out like this. So we'll be cutting this out. So this is it. So right now we would fold our plain fabric like this. So you're laying the African print on it, the front pattern on it like this. So once you get that V plain side, so you pin it in place. Make sure you pin it in place. Better still, if you have, let's just see, you can iron it out in place. So what we're doing right now is to cut out the neck like this. So we are taking out the African print now, but you still need to pin the black material in place so it doesn't move while cutting. So what we're doing right now is to take out 5 inches by the side like this, and the length we'll be working with for this black pattern will be 18 inches. You can make yours 17, 20. It's not constant, anything you want. So what I'm using here is 18 inches. So I'll connect a V. I'll connect this 5 inches down to where I have the 18 inches with a V shape like this. So we'll be cutting it out. So that is it for the front pattern. For the front. So right now we'll be cutting out the back facing. So you just fold a little piece of material and carve out the back neckline. So we're taking 3 inches round for the back facing. 3 inches, 3 inches round like this. So cut it out. So this is the back pattern, and this is basically it for the back. So the 2 inches, or the black piece we need to fix to the sleeve, like attached to the sleeve, is 2 inches, or you can do 2 1/4. So this is it. I'm trying to cut it out. So this is it after cutting out. I've gone ahead to iron it in place. So what I have here is 2 3/4. So set this aside. So let's bring in the V shape we cut out. So I've gone ahead to use my interface to iron it. You can use your paper steel, your hair steel, or whichever one you want to. So right now I'll place the plain fabric, the right side of it facing the wrong side of the fabric, the right side of the plain fabric facing the wrong side of the African print. So you can go ahead and pin it in place like this. Pin it in place so it doesn't move when you're sewing it. So the next thing we're doing right now is to sew a V. So this is it after sewing it. So what you need to do is to notch the corners and notch that part that has that V very well. So when you turn it to the right side, to lay out properly. So this is it after turning it to the right side. So you need to take it to your ironing table. When you're sewing, at least ensure you iron to help you have a nice finishing and also a nice sewing. So this is it. I took it to my ironing table to iron, and this is what I have. So I already folded out 1/2 inch with my iron, so it could be easy for me to stitch on it. So you can go ahead and fold 1/2 inch with your iron and iron before placing it here. So this is it right now. I'm trying to stitch it like this. So this is after stitching. So you go onto the ironing table and iron again. So this is it after ironing. See how nice it's looking. So we set this aside. So the next thing we're doing right now is to turn our back with our facing. So this is the facing we cut out. So you're sewing right side facing right with the facing. So you sew it with 1/2 inch or 1/4 of an inch like this. So after sewing, you can give it a notch and flip it to the wrong side. So go ahead and take it to your ironing table and iron it out. So what we're doing right now is to join the shoulder together. So watch what I'm doing here carefully. You join the shoulders like this, and you take that back facing and flip it to the front like this. So this thing will help you have a nice look around the shoulder area. So you stitch it out with 1/2 inch like this, and you do the same thing to the other side of the shoulder. So this is it. Stitch it out with 1/2 inch like this, and always cut out your thread. So do the same thing to the other side like this, the same way we did that one. The right side, the shoulder facing each other, we flip the back facing to the front. So this is after sewing. See how nice it's looking. So for the facing, you can go ahead and stitch it with your machine, or you can use needle and thread to tack it, and you can as well use your hemming gum to hem it. So this is it. I'm pinning it in place like this. So the next thing we're doing right now is to attach the plain fabric to the sleeve. So I folded the fabric into two like this. So what I'll be doing right now is to stitch it with 1/2 inch. I folded right side facing right. So you stitch it like this to the end. So after stitching, you just take it to your ironing table and iron out. But before then, we'll do the other side of the sleeve. Do the same thing to this other side. Place it on the right side and stitch with 1/2 inch, and then take it to the ironing table and iron it properly. So this is it after ironing. So what I'll be doing right now is to join the sides. So I will join 1/2 inch from here all the way to the down part, all the way to the end of the fabric. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Do the same thing to the other side. So with 1/2 inch. Now you can sew with 3/4 inch too if you want to, but I sewed with 1/2 inch, and this is it when I was done sewing. So it's advisable you go to your ironing table to iron it in place like this. So this is it after ironing, and what we'll be doing next is to hem the down part with 1/2 inch. You can fold 1/2 inch twice or 1 inch twice. So guys, thanks for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe to my channel.